February 12, 2023. Voting for Change. The civil rights movement had a big year in 1964. Martin Luther King Jr. won the Nobel Peace Prize, and Congress passed the Civil Rights Act of 1964. This law made it illegal to treat people differently because of the color of their skin when they were trying to buy a house, rent an apartment, or go to a restaurant, for example. But passing this law did not always make things better for African Americans. King believed that the situation would not change until more Black Americans voted in elections. Although they had the legal right to vote, very few Black people were registered, and many states had rules that made it difficult for them to register and vote. King believed that most of the states' voter registration requirement should be removed. What did King do? King went to Washington, D.C. to discuss a voting rights bill with President Lyndon Johnson. Although the president was supportive, he didn't think the bill could pass. He told King to wait, but King did not want to wait. He and other activists decided to protest in Selma, Alabama. Selma was a typical southern city. Very few Black people there were registered to vote, even though about half the population was Black. The protest began in January 1965. A month later, a protester, Jimmy Lee Jackson, was shot and killed by state troopers. Jackson's death spurred King and the others to organize a voting rights protest march from Selma to Montgomery, the state capital. On March 7, 1965, hundreds of marchers set out for the Capitol building. When the marchers reached Selma's Admiral Peters Bridge, they met a group of state troopers who told them to turn back. The marchers refused, but, as King would have wanted, there was no violence on their part. Instead, they knelt on the sidewalk. The state troopers were not so peaceful. They used tear gas, sticks, and whips to attack the marchers. People all over the country were horrified. King was not discouraged. They tried the march again, and this time made it to Montgomery. Days before, President Johnson had addressed Congress and America. He introduced the Voting Rights Act. After the Selma protests and violence, the time was right. On August 6, President Johnson signed the Voting Rights Act of 1965. King and the other protesters' actions had successfully led to legal change. Now the federal government would help Black Americans use their right to vote. Thank you for watching.